All right, my great friend Linda McMahon writes in the Daily Caller, the federal government is deciding who can and can't start a small business. Now she joins us. Welcome back to the show, Linda McMahon, former Trump head of Small Business Administration, chair of the America First Policy Institute. Linda, thank you for this. The federal government can decide who and who can't. This is about franchising, right? If I understand this whole issue, you put a stop to it and Trump put a stop to it. Now, like a bad penny, it's turning up again. Is that right?
Yeah, and we found out that it didn't work too well under the Obama administration. You know, Larry, I don't think that the president totally realizes that about, a third of franchise businesses are owned by minorities. And when you put these kind of rules into effect, which literally says that if a mother franchise, if you will, McDonald's Corporation, there's a small franchisee comes in and starts his business. Well, now that small business is going to be treated like an employee-employer relationship, which takes away all the incentive of the franchise owner to be its own marketing person, to hire who he needs or she needs, to really reach out into the community and whatever relationships they want to develop. And so what we found is it just takes the air out of the balloon of franchise owners who really want to go out, be part of the community. And the people who get affected the most by this are women and minorities. Thank goodness this very broad rule was stopped on this past Friday. It was supposed to go into effect today. And a Texas judge ruled that it was too broad and it had to be looked at again, and sort of the National Labor Relations Board is going to appeal it. But this is really a bad rule. It cost franchise owners, I think there were 376,000 jobs lost when it was in effect in the Obama administration. And it's just a crazy rule, and we lost about $33 billion per year from these franchises under the Obama administration. It's just crazy.
Didn't the Obamas, also, as I understand it, they wanted to slap a DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion requirement on small businesses in order to do business with the SBA and others. But some judge knocked that down, said that you can't, that's unconstitutional. I think that's also the case.
Yeah, it clearly is. I mean, if you take a look at what we did in SBA under the Trump administration, it was just all comers. Come in. If you qualified for a loan under SBA, we didn't look at race, we didn't look at color, creed. We looked at did you qualify with the banks who were supporting you in your line of business. Now, this particular rule that you just mentioned, this is under the Commerce Department. These are grants that go to small businesses. And so that's the other side of that coin, that the lawsuit was actually brought by those who were not part of the minorities, which were Black Americans, Hispanics, Asia Pacific, Islanders, etc. They were white people who came and said, this is discriminatory against us not to be able to get any of these grants. And the judge actually ruled in their favor. So that was a good thing. So I think that we're going to see a lot more of these kind of actions. It's all about the Biden administration wanting more control.
All right. Last one, Linda.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just have a moment. Part of the issue with franchise, I recall, if the headquarters is unionized, if the headquarters votes to unionize, all the franchisees have to be union. They don't get to hold their own elections. Is that part of the issue, too?
I'm not sure if that's part of this particular issue, Larry, but clearly that is one of the issues that has come up. And it just makes all of these franchise owners now employees under the big umbrella. And what they have said is they get actually less support from the big corporate franchisor than they did before.
All right. We'll leave it there. Linda McMahon, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good op-ed piece. Good warning to everybody.
Thank you, Larry.